All right, everybody, here's the Unit 3 summative practice test with the answers. Okay, this first question says, a circle has a radius of 40 centimeters. Which of these is closest to its area? So here I'm asking if you know the formula for area of a circle. Now, area is equal to pi times the radius squared. And in this case, I don't need to actually find the exact solution to this. I need to find which one is the closest one to it. Now, the area is going to be equal to pi times the radius, which is 40, squared. 40 squared is the same as 40 times 40. And 4 times 4 is 16. And I add 2 zeros. So my area is going to be equal to pi times 1,600. Now, which of these is probably the closest one to it? Well, I know that pi is roughly around 3. So it's going to be around 3 times 1,600. For sure it can't be D. For sure it can't be C, because 3 times 1,600 is already way more than those two. And if you get your calculator out, or if you just want to do 3 times 16, you'll find that 3 times 16 is roughly equal to 4,800. Now, that means it can't be A, so the answer has to be B. This is the only one that actually makes sense. All right, this question 2 is we're looking at something called a compound shape, which is like shapes put together, different shapes that are added together. And this shape is made up of squares and quarter circles. Select all the expressions that represent its perimeter. I'm going to start off with just the squares. So if I'm looking at perimeter, I'm looking at this distance plus this distance plus the distance of this half circle and this half circle plus this length, this length, this length, and this length. And that is the perimeter I'm trying to find. So first, if I just added up all of the red pieces, all of the lengths of the sides of the square, I would have 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. I have 6 sevens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 times 6 is 42. So I know that part of the perimeter of this shape is going to be 42, and then it's going to be added to, I need to add the circumference of these 4 parts of these quarter circles. Now, if you notice, this half circle plus this half circle would give me the circumference of a full circle that has a diameter of 14, because 7 plus 7 is 14. The circumference of a circle is equal to pi times the diameter. So the circumference of this circle, of these pieces added together, is going to be pi times my diameter, 14. So going back down to here, I'm going to see that 14 plus 14 pi is going to be the circumference or the perimeter of the entire shape that we have here. Now all I have to do is find, well, which one of these is equal to 42 plus 14 pi? First one is. Second one, no, because it has that 91. 91 plus 14 pi doesn't work. 147 plus 49 pi does not equal that. 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7, that's 42. 3.5 plus 3.5 is 7. 3.5 plus 3.5 is 7, so 7 plus 7, 14. This one works, and then the last one doesn't work. I don't have anything to do with pi down here. It's just 7 added 10 times. So only A and D work. All right, for this question, we're looking at 3 different circles, and we're just trying to find their circumference and area of each of those. So circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, and area is equal to pi times the radius squared. Circle A has a radius of a half, or a diameter of 1. So the circumference of circle A is equal to pi times its diameter, which is 1. And pi times 1 is just going to be pi, so circumference is equal to pi. My area is equal to pi times the radius squared, which is 1/2 squared. So area is equal to pi times 1/4. For B, my radius is 1, so my diameter is going to be 2. So circumference is equal to pi times 2, or 2 pi. My area is going to be equal to pi times my radius, which is 1 squared. And 1 squared is just 1 times 1. So my area is equal to pi. And then finally, my diameter here is 1. So circumference is equal to pi times 1, which is just circumference equals pi, because 1 times pi is pi. And my area is equal to pi times my radius, which is a half, 1/2 squared. So area for the circle C is pi times 1/4, because 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. All right, so now I have all of these circumferences and areas. I just figure out which one is true. Circle A has a circumference of pi. So circle A has a circumference of pi. My circumference is pi times 1, so this is true. Circle B has a circumference of pi. Well, if I look down here, my circumference is equal to pi times 2, so that's not true. This is not true. Circle B has an area of pi. That is true. It's right there. Circle C has an area of pi. So my area, this one that I found, is pi times 1/4. So this is not true. And then E, pi is the constant of proportionality relating the radius to of a circle to its circumference. This is one of the activities we did in class. Circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. This is my constant proportionality, pi. Pi is related to pi times the diameter is my circumference. So this is not true because it's not the radius, but it's the diameter. So this is not true, but this last one is true. Pi is the constant proportionality relating the diameter to the circumference. So only A, C, and F are true. All right, question 4. Are we looking at circumference or area of these different options? The distance around a Ferris wheel. A Ferris wheel looks like this. You have those little carts that are kind of moving around, connected to the middle. The distance around, we're looking at circumference. So your answer here is circumference because we're looking at the perimeter of a circle. The amount of paint needed to paint a bullseye. So if I have a circle and I need to paint the bullseye, like the middle part, we're looking at area. We're looking at the area of how much paint we need to paint that middle part. The amount of whipped cream needed to go around the edge of a pie. So if I have a pie and I want to put whipped cream around the whole outside of it, we're looking at area. The class measured the radius R, circumference C, and area of various circular objects. The results are recorded in this table. So here's my table. I have radius, circumference, and area. Does there appear to be a proportional relationship between the radius and the circumference. Now we know from the formula that circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, or circumference is equal to pi times 2 times the radius, because 2 times the radius is equal to the diameter. So 4 times what is 25? Something around 6. 2 times the pi times 2 pi gives me that. 5 times 2 pi gives me that. 8 times 2 pi gives me that. And 12 times 2 pi gives me that. So yes, there is a proportional relationship between radius and circumference, because I'm going to multiply by the same number every time to get me the circumference. Now for the next one, my area is equal to pi times the radius squared. Now if you notice, this is not going to be a proportional relationship. From our last unit, we learned that proportional relationships always come in this form, y equals kx. And in this case, because this number is being squared, it's not going to be a proportional relationship. 4 times what is 50? 4 times 12.5 is 50. Now, what I'm multiplying to get to each of these is always going to be different. So there is not a proportional relationship between the radius and the area. This figure is made from part of a circle and part of a square. What is the perimeter? So first thing I'm going to find is the perimeter. So 2 plus 5 plus 5 plus 2 is 14. So I'm going to have 14 plus this piece of the circumference of a circle. Now circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. So this is if I had a circle, what we're looking at is just this piece of it, 1/4 of the entire circumference. So my circumference is going to be equal to pi times the diameter, and this is my radius of 3, so my diameter is 6. And then I need to divide that by 4. So where should I work? I'll work here. So because this says nearest unit, I'm just going to assume that pi is equal to 3, because I'm just looking at units. I don't need to go to tenths and hundredths. So what I'm going to solve for is this. Pi, which is 3, times 6 divided by 4. 3 times 6 is 18, divided by 4. 2.5, no, 4.5. So 14 plus 4.5. If I'm going to the nearest unit, I would just say 14 plus 5, so 19 would be my perimeter. All right, and now for the second part, I'm finding the area. So again, I'm just going to start with the circle. The circle is 1/4 of a whole circle, right? So I'm just finding a quarter of a circle. So I'm just going to do it on this side. Area is equal to pi r squared. Now, because I'm going to the nearest unit, I'm just going to say pi is equal to 3. So area is equal to 3 times my radius squared. 3 squared is 9, so 3 times 9 is 27. So the area of this part of my shape is 27. Now, for the other shape, I need to figure out what is the area of all of this. So this bottom rectangle is 2 times 5, which is 10. And then this rectangle up here is 2 times 3, which is 6. And I add that together and I get 16. So in total, I'm going to add 16 plus 27 which is equal to 43. So 43 is going to be my final answer because I'm just going to the nearest unit. A painter needs to paint the bottom of a circular pool. The pool has a radius of 30 feet. So I have a pool and it has a radius of 30 feet. Store sells 5 gallons of paint. 1 gallon of paint covers 300 square feet. How many 5-gallon cans do I need to buy to cover the whole bottom? So first I need to find the area. The area is equal to pi times the radius squared. Now in this question, you for sure should be using a calculator. So area is equal to pi times my radius, which is 30 squared. Now 30 squared, area is equal to pi. So you plug that in. Let's just say 3.14 times 30 squared. Now I'm going to do that on my calculator right now. 30 times 30 times 3.14 equals 2,826 feet squared. So the area of the whole thing, of this bottom of the pool, is 2,826 feet. Now, I need to paint it. I'm painting it with 5-gallon cans that cover 300 feet. So how many 5-gallon cans do I need? So let's just say, if I bought like 7 5-gallon cans, 7 times 300 is 2,100 square feet. So that's not enough. I need to buy more. 9 times 300 is 2,700 square feet, which is still smaller than this. And if I buy 10 gallons of paint, I would get 3,000 square feet of paint. And this is more than this one. So I need to buy 10 cans of paint. All right, finally, the last question of the summative is this one. What are the values of x and y? So if this angle is 30 and it's made up of 2 lines that look like that, they're called vertical angles. This angle will also be 30 degrees. And now I know that x equals 30. So this x is also equal to 30 degrees. Now if we look at this line here, a half circle or a straight line has an angle of 180 degrees because it's made up of 2 90-degree angles. So if I know that, I'm going to redraw that line, that this line is 60, what must y be so that together they add up to 180? You can do this a few different ways, but 180 minus 60 gives me 120. So y equals 120 degrees.